A few drinks into the evening, my husband's childhood best friend suddenly slid her hand beneath his shirt. Min-jae, you've kept in amazing shape all these years. Ji-hye's voice dripped with admiration. She hopped onto the couch, planting her feet on the cushions, and gestured toward me with a theatrical flourish. You should thank me, Naima. Back in the day, we'd go 10 rounds a night. I trained him to be damn good at what he does. My face darkened instantly. Ji-hye noticed my displeasure and quickly attempted damage control. Don't get the wrong idea. Min-jae and I are just brothers. Doing that stuff with him is like my left hand touching my right. There's no feeling there. If he ever slacks off in bed, you just call me. I'll whip him back into shape for you. The room erupted in laughter. I snapped, shoving the cake directly into her face. What the hell is that supposed to mean? Are you trying to stake your claim on him? My husband shoved me aside roughly, grabbing Ji-hye and storming out of the room. I stumbled and fell to the floor as I heard him bragging that he wore the pants at home, and that by tomorrow, I'd be on my knees begging for his forgiveness. I immediately called my brother. Cut all business with Park Min-jae, right now. I want him bankrupt. The moment he saw me shove the cake in Ji-hye's face, Min-jae reacted instantly, pushing me away. Naima, are you crazy? It's a party. Do you have to ruin everyone's good time? I struggled to keep my balance and barely avoided falling, but Min-jae didn't seem to care at all about me or the baby I was carrying. He pulled out a tissue and gently wiped Ji-hye's face. Don't mind her, he said dismissively. Women are so dramatic. Don't worry, our friendship will always come first. Ji-hye wiped her cheek with the back of her hand and said magnanimously, this is nothing. Remember for my birthday, when I stuffed a whole slice of cake down your pants? The look on your face. God, I still laugh so hard I get cramps just thinking about it. My husband's ears turned bright red as his friends roared with laughter. After cleaning her up, Min-jae took her by the hand and led her out. Before the door closed, he looked back at me, annoyed. You stay home and think about what you did. I'm going out to celebrate with my friends. And don't think you can throw your weight around just because you're pregnant. After all, who else is going to want a knocked-up woman like you? The door clicked shut, and my heart shattered along with it. I immediately called my brother and told him to terminate all business with Park Min-jae. I also asked him to have a lawyer draw up divorce papers. I was going to leave Min-jae with nothing. My brother didn't ask a single question. After agreeing to everything, he just said gently, you always have a home to come back to. We're here for you. After hanging up, tears welled in my eyes. I hated myself for not listening to my parents. How could I have let it come to this? For Min-jae, I'd turned down the arranged marriage my family had set up for me. I was afraid he'd feel insecure, so I hid the fact that I was an heiress. I just secretly had my family invest in his company, helping him climb the ladder all the way to Seoul. But ever since his childhood friend came back into his life, it was like I'd become invisible. I was no longer the center of his world. Just then, the door burst open and Min-jae rushed in. For a second, I thought he'd come back because he was worried about me and the baby. But he walked right past me and grabbed a phone from the couch. Thank God, Ji-hye's phone is here. She would have gone ballistic if this was lost. He grabbed the phone and left without a second glance, as if I wasn't even there. A few moments later, Ji-hye sent me a video. It was my husband on the floor, crawling with a dog leash around his neck. Ji-hye was striking his bare back with a whip, again and again. I could hear her taunting voice, good boy. Do you like that? Then she sent me a text, next time this bastard gets out of line, I'll discipline him for you, Naima. Min-jae didn't come home until after midnight. When he came out of the shower, the whip marks on his back were perfectly clear. I asked him how he got the marks on his back. He just said it was from messing around with friends. I was silent for a moment. Then, in a cold voice, I said, Min-jae, I want a divorce. My husband stopped toweling his hair, looking at me in disbelief. Naima, what's wrong with you? Is this just about what happened earlier? Ji-hye's just messing around. Besides, you threw a cake at her and she didn't even make a big deal out of it. Don't push your luck just because you're pregnant. He turned to get into bed, but I threw a pillow at him. I'm not kidding. You pushed me down today. You almost killed both of us. Since your bro is more important than me and our baby, then I'll just let you two be together. I turned away, not wanting to look at him anymore. He was quiet for a moment, then came to my side and gently stroked my head. Nama, don't be mad. I'm a CEO now, you know? It's tough for me when you make me look bad in front of my friends. How about this? I'll take you out tomorrow to cheer you up. Let my son in your belly see Seoul a little. I was about to say something, but his lips were on mine. He looked at me with soft eyes and said, "All right, it's getting late. Get some rest. Staying up is bad for you and our son." I drifted into a groggy sleep. In the middle of the night, a noise from the bathroom woke me up. I tiptoed over and heard a conversation that made my skin crawl. "My good boy, you're secretly video calling me? Aren't you afraid your wife will find out?" Min-jae said dismissively, "It's easy to handle women. A few sweet words and they're wrapped around your finger. I've got her completely under control now. She does whatever I say." Laughter came from the other side. "No matter how much of a big shot my good boy is to everyone else, you're just daddy's obedient little pet." Then Min-jae actually started barking. Woof woof. A chill went down my spine. This was a completely different person from the serious, respectable husband I knew. I didn't sleep a wink. Min-jae woke me up first thing in the morning. After breakfast, he said he was taking me out. As soon as I got in the car, a pungent scent hit me and I couldn't help but sneeze. I saw the lily-scented air freshener on his dashboard. I'm allergic to lilies, so without a second thought, I reached to throw it out the window. But Min-jae's hand shot out and stopped me. "Don't touch that. Ji-hye, that jerk, said my car stinks and put it here. If she sees it's gone next time, she'll kill me." It was clear he'd forgotten I was allergic to lilies. Because the only person on his mind right now was Ji-hye. He seemed to notice I was upset. He put the air freshener back and tried to placate me. "It expires in a month anyway. We can just toss it then." Min-jae drove me to a basketball court in Gangnam and parked, then led me inside by the hand. When she saw us, Ji-hye jogged over and pinched my husband's chest. "Looks like my boy's been working out. Nice and hard. Get on the court and play with daddy. We're gonna crush these losers today." My husband pulled his gear out of his bag, changed right there, and then helped me to a seat on the bench. "Naima, let our son get a good look at his dad's skills. Think of it as prenatal education."
A little while later, I started breaking out in a rash. It had to be an allergic reaction to the air freshener. I called out to my husband desperately, "Min-jae, I think I'm having an allergic reaction. You need to get me to a hospital." But Ji-hye just yelled louder, "Min-jae, pass the ball. Hurry up. Daddy's about to show you a slam dunk." My husband, completely focused on the game, didn't hear me. Right up until my eyelids fluttered shut from exhaustion. Min-jae never once glanced my way. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. A doctor came over, pulling down his mask. He looked at me with pity and said, "Your allergic reaction was severe. During treatment, the baby couldn't tolerate the medication. I'm so sorry, but you lost the child." My world went cold. I clutched my stomach as huge tears rolled down my cheeks. "Mommy's so sorry, baby. I couldn't protect you." Just then, Min-jae called. He was out of breath. "Hey, I was in the middle of a game and couldn't get away, so I had security take you to the hospital. You and the baby are okay, right?" Apparently, a game with his bestie was more important than our child. I didn't say a word. Suddenly, I heard Ji-hye's voice on the other end. "My boy, what are you spacing out for? Get your ass over here. It's your turn. Your wifey just fainted. It's just pregnancy fatigue. She'll nap anywhere. If you're a buzzkill like last time, I'm done playing with you." Min-jae quickly tried to end the call. "Naima, if you're awake, you must be fine. I'm gonna go finish the game. I'll come by the hospital later to see you." Listening to the dial tone, I felt my heart shatter piece by piece. I guess when you're not loved, no one would even care if you died. It was evening by the time I left the hospital. I called Min-jae, wanting to talk about a divorce, but his phone went straight to voicemail. Suddenly, my group chat started blowing up. I opened it and saw a video Ji-hye had posted. It was Min-jae, at a noribang in Hongdae, serenading her with a love song. The guys in the chat were all cheering them on in the comments. Get together. Get together. A wife can't compare to a bestie. Ji-hye, if you say yes, you'll be our new sister-in-law. I'm for it. Ji-hye is way better than Min-jae's original wife. At least she's not a buzzkill who does stupid shit like throwing a cake. So damn extra. Ji-hye replied with a dog face emoji and commented, "You assholes, stop talking crap. Min-jae is destined to be my good little boy for life." Got it. Seeing all that, I left the group chat and went to the nearest noribang to find Min-jae. As I reached the door of their private room, I saw Min-jae inside, stripped down to just his underwear. And Ji-hye was down to her bra and panties, like she was wearing a bikini. Ji-hye looked pissed. Damn, my luck is shit tonight. How do I keep losing this drinking game? One more loss and I'll be totally naked. She walked over to Min-jae and smacked his ass. Good thing my boy is here with me, so I don't have to be humiliated all by myself. One of the guys teased, "Hey Ji-hye, how come you and Min-jae have matching tattoos on your backs? Planning to fly off into the sunset together?" That's when I saw it. The wing on Ji-hye's back was a perfect match to the one my husband had. I remembered my husband telling me he got his when he was young and stupid. It turned out his heart had belonged to someone else all along, and I was the only one in the dark. Ji-hye, still pissed, played another round and lost again. Someone joked, "Alright Ji-hye, what's it gonna be this time? Top or bottom?" Suddenly, Min-jae lunged in front of Ji-hye, shielding her with his body. He declared gallantly, "I'll take the punishment for her." Ji-hye looked shy, patting his back. "Such a good boy, so loyal. I'll be sure to reward you later." Min-jae was just pulling down his pants when I kicked the door wide open. I strode over, snatched a glass of soju, and hurled it at him. "You bastard, Min-jae. You got our son killed. And you have the nerve to be in here flirting with another woman." Ji-hye shielded Min-jae, her chin held high. "What do you think you're doing?" Min-jae was defending me. "Anyone who has a problem with him has a problem with me." I let out a cold laugh, grabbed the other soju glass, and threw it on her. "And you're no better. Look at what you're wearing. You're dressed like a hooker." Ji-hye completely lost it. She clenched her fist and swung at me. I was trying to be respectful. "But you're shameless and pushing your luck." Min-jae shoved me hard. "Stop making a scene. Are you crazy talking about our son being dead? You've ruined another perfectly good party." He turned, wrapped an arm around Ji-hye, and called out to his buddies, "Let's go. We'll find somewhere else to party. Let her stay here and cool off by herself." The whole group swaggered out. I collapsed onto the cold floor, my heart twisting in agony. I slammed my fist against the floor. "Park Min-jae. I swear I'm going to make you pay for this." The next day, I went to the office with the divorce papers to find Min-jae. Instead, I saw Ji-hye walking out of my office, carrying a box of my things. Min-jae explained nonchalantly, "Naima, you embarrassed Ji-hye twice. As an apology, I gave her your shares and your VP position. Besides, you're pregnant now. You should be at home resting, focusing on the baby's health. Ji-hye is a good friend I can trust. I know she'll do a great job." Ji-hye sauntered over to my side and slung an arm around Min-jae's neck. "You just focus on your pregnancy. Don't you worry your pretty little head about the company." But my reaction was surprisingly calm. Whatever. Saves me the trouble of quitting. If someone's willing to take a company that's about to go bankrupt off my hands, I couldn't be happier. Min-jae's face darkened. He pointed to the reporters nearby. "Today is the day we sign the multi-billion-won contract with the Kim Group. I invited the press to document this historic moment. Don't talk nonsense just because you have a problem with Ji-hye. This company is on the rise. It has a limitless future." Just then, a man walked in. A look of delighted surprise crossed Min-jae's face. "Mr. Kim, what a surprise to see you here in person." He quickly grabbed Ji-hye and rushed over to greet him. But the imposing man simply threw a medical report for a miscarriage right in Min-jae's face. You did this to my sister, and you still want to talk about a partnership? I'm announcing that our deal is officially terminated. Just then, another commanding voice cut in. You're the bastard who killed my grandson? I turned and saw my dad step out from behind my brother. All the tension I'd been holding back snapped, and I collapsed into my dad's arms. Appa, you're finally here. I missed you so much, I cried, clinging to him tightly, just like when I was a little girl. Min-jae scoffed, annoyed. Naima, are you serious? Don't think you can claim some connection to Mr. Kim, the richest man in Seoul, just because you share a last name. Mr. Kim is a huge client of mine today. You'd better get out of the way before you piss him off. Ji-hye picked up the miscarriage report from the floor and sneered. Naima, you've really got some nerve. Getting the famous Mr. Kim to play along with this little drama of yours? That's just pathetic. She swaggered over to my dad. Mr. Kim, whatever Naima offered you, I'll double it. I'm the VP of the company now. Naima's a nobody here anymore. We all know how the game is played. New management, new team. You get it, right? My dad slapped Ji-hye straight across the face. Who the hell do you think you are? You have no right to talk about my precious daughter. So you must be the homewrecker who destroyed my daughter's marriage? Let me tell you something. You don't get to speak here. Ji-hye had never been humiliated like this. She cupped her cheek, her face a mask of indignation, her eyes practically bugging out of her head. Just as she was about to complain, Min-jae clamped a hand over her mouth and whispered, Ji-hye, stop it. If we lose this client, the company is totally screwed. Min-jae plastered on a fawning smile and gestured invitingly. Mr. Kim, let's not let a small misunderstanding make things unpleasant. The conference room is all set up for you. I'll have someone bring in our best tea right away. But my dad just snorted coldly and took my hand. Sweetheart, you've suffered enough all these years. I'm taking you home. My dad turned, led me in front of the reporters, and announced, Everyone, this is my precious daughter, and the future heiress of the Kim Corporation. Min-jae froze, staring at me in disbelief. You're really the sole heiress of the Kim Corporation? The reporters' flashbulbs went off like a firestorm, capturing me and my dad. This is the first time we've seen the Kim heiress. She's so elegant and beautiful. Ms. Kim, look over here. Let me get the perfect shot. My dad pointed right at Min-jae's face and declared, I am officially announcing, right here and now, that our partnership with Park Industries is terminated. The reporters immediately swiveled their cameras toward Min-jae, bombarding him with questions. Mr. Park, didn't you say this was a massive partnership? Why would the Kim Corporation suddenly back out? How do you plan to handle this situation? What's your strategy for dealing with such an abrupt change? But Ji-hye jumped in front of him protectively. You reporters are nothing but a pack of vultures. If you have a problem, take it up with me. Don't you dare bully my man. I marveled at her ignorance, completely oblivious even as disaster loomed. This is no time for grandstanding. Without my dad's partnership, Park Industries will be destroyed in an instant, and her VP title will be nothing more than empty words. Min-jae shoved her aside and walked straight to me, begging in a low, groveling voice. Naima, we're still married, after all. Please just talk to your dad. Convince him to go through with the partnership. I threw the divorce papers in his face. Take a good look. You and I are already over. Min-jae opened the folder. His pupils dilated when he recognized his own handwriting. How could this be? He said in disbelief. When did I sign this? I was afraid he'd rip up the agreement, so I snatched it from him and held it up for the reporters to see. The reporters swarmed forward. After all, the divorce of a billionaire's daughter was front-page news, and they weren't about to let a story like this get away. But Ji-hye threw an arm around Min-jae's shoulders. What are you so afraid of, Min-jae? Women are like clothes, you just get a new one. Don't let people think you're weak. It's just one contract. If they won't work with you, someone else will. You can't put all your eggs in one basket, right? And if you can't stay on top, who cares? The guys will be right there with you, all the way back to the bottom. This time, Min-jae didn't hang on her every word like he usually did. As a self-made man, he knew just how important this project was. And for a guy so obsessed with his career, there was no way he'd let himself get knocked off his pedestal. He shoved Ji-hye away and shot her an impatient look. What do you know? This partnership is critical to me. If you can't help, then at least stay out of my way. Ji-hye froze. It was the first time Min-jae had ever gotten angry with her. Min-jae walked over to me and took my hand. Naima, I know we're not legally husband and wife anymore, but the baby you're carrying is still mine. That's the product of our love. How can you let our child be born without a father? I picked up the miscarriage report from the floor and threw it in his face. Open your damn eyes and look. You're the one who killed your own child. Min-jae looked at it closely, his hands trembling uncontrollably. Naima? Is the baby really gone? No, I don't believe it. You're lying to me. You can divorce me, but please, don't joke about our child. Okay? My dad couldn't take it anymore. He stormed over and slapped Min-jae hard across the face. You son of a bitch! If it wasn't to give my grandchild a better life, did you really think someone with your abilities deserved to partner with our company? Now my grandchild is gone, and you're still here playing dumb. Are you even a man? Min-jae looked completely incredulous, his eyes landing on me. Naima, tell me who killed our child. I swear I won't let them get away with it. I walked up to the reporters, took a microphone, and pointed straight at Min-jae. My child was killed by his own father. To please Ji-hye, he put a lily-scented air freshener in the car, even though he knew I'm allergic to lilies. That's what caused my miscarriage. Min-jae stood frozen, clutching his head in his hands. How could this happen? He said, full of remorse. I killed my own child, with my own hands. But Ji-hye walked over to him, trying to calm him down. Min-jae, don't let her fool you. How could an air freshener possibly cause a miscarriage? She's just putting on a show for you. Min-jae looked at her with bloodshot eyes and backhanded her across the face. My son is dead, and you're standing here talking crap like that? Do you have any humanity at all? Stunned, Ji-hye clutched her face. You bastard. You actually hit me? You've got some nerve after everything I've done for you. Min-jae raised his hand and slapped her again. Damn right I hit you. If you hadn't insisted on putting that air freshener in the car, my son wouldn't be dead. Min-jae and Ji-hye instantly tackled each other, and it took a few people to finally pull them apart. That's when I pulled the photos from my bag and showed them to the reporters. They were pictures of Min-jae in a private room, wearing nothing but his underwear. The camera flashes grew more intense, the sound of shutters filling the air. I pointed at Min-jae's nose and announced, "This is the CEO of the Park Group, playing strip poker with his best gal pal behind everyone's back. And that woman next to him, Ji-hye, is the one he's been cheating with. They've been hooking up for a long time." Employees started whispering amongst themselves, covering their mouths. Mr. Park always acted like such a great guy, the perfect husband. I guess it was all an act. I can't believe he's so wild behind the scenes. You really never know what someone is truly like. Reporters shoved their microphones in Min-jae's face. Mr. Park, can you explain these photos? How could a major business leader like you do something like this? The woman in the photos looks a lot like your new VP right here. Is there something more to your relationship? Now that you're divorced, are you planning on marrying the woman beside you? Min-jae completely lost it. He started snatching microphones from the reporters and smashing them on the ground. Don't you tabloid hacks have anything better to do? This is all completely fabricated. Now get the hell out of here. But the reporters weren't buying it. Mr. Park, you're the one who paid us a fortune to be here. Kicking us out now seems a little unfair. Don't you think? Min-jae rushed over to me and tried to snatch the photos. Naima, let's talk about this in private. Not here. I placed a hand on my stomach and looked him in the eye. So now you're upset? Did you ever once think about how heartbroken I was when I lost our child? Let me tell you, the show is just getting started. I will get justice for my son. I won't let his death be for nothing. I turned, took my dad's hand, and walked toward the exit. Min-jae tried to block my path, but I shoved him aside. Mr. Park, get out of my way. Before he could say anything else, the swarm of reporters completely surrounded him. After we left the company, my dad took me home. He said my mom missed me and had prepared a huge meal. When I got home, my mom saw me and rushed over, pulling me into a tight hug. Her voice choked with emotion as she said, "Naima, I've missed you so much. Come on in, I made a bunch of your favorite dishes." I walked over to the dining table and saw a familiar face. It was Ji-hye, the man I was once supposed to marry. When he saw me, he stood up politely. "Long time no see. Welcome home." I shook his hand politely, and then we all sat down to eat. After dinner, my dad explained that Ji-hye was now an executive at one of his subsidiary companies. My dad praised his strong work ethic, calling him a rising star, and suggested that I work with him. The next day, I became the president of the subsidiary. Ji-hye gave me a detailed briefing on the company's current situation. With his help, I quickly got up to speed and threw myself into the work. One day, while Ji-hye and I were in a meeting, a commotion erupted from downstairs. I looked down from the window and saw that Min-jae had arranged a giant heart out of roses on the ground below. He was holding a megaphone and shouting up at me, "Naima, give me another chance. Can we please start over?" I couldn't be bothered with him and was about to have security throw him out. But before they could grab him, he burst in. He fell to his knees in front of me, clutching a bouquet of roses. "Naima, please, give me one more chance. I can't live without you." Just then, one of my employees glanced at her phone and gasped. "Park Industries stock just plummeted," she yelled out. "And they're facing massive debt. Ms. Kim, don't let him fool you. He's at the end of his rope and just wants to leech off you now. A scumbag like him is the worst kind of poison. For real, it's just disgusting." Min-jae shot the girl a dirty look. "What's between me and Naima is none of your business." But I cut him off, my voice firm. "Min-jae, we're divorced. There's nothing between us anymore. Can you please stop harassing me?" Hearing my rejection, his eyes welled up with tears. "Naima, don't do this to me, please. It wasn't until you left that I realized how much I love you. These past few days, I can't sleep at night. You're all I think about." Before I could respond, a woman's shriek echoed up from downstairs. "Kim, Naima, get your ass out here. How dare you ruin me?" I didn't even have to look to know it was Ji-hye. I just couldn't believe she still had the nerve to show her face. I wanted to ignore her, but her shouting only got louder, the insults more vicious. Min-jae couldn't take it anymore. He threw the flowers on the ground and stormed outside. "I'll go teach that bitch Ji-hye a lesson for you. She's the one who destroyed the perfect family I should have had." Afraid they'd cause a huge scene, I followed him out. The moment Ji-hye saw me, she glared as if I were her mortal enemy. Well, Kim, Naima, you finally came out. I was starting to think you were just a coward hiding in your shell. I'm only here for one thing. For you to go online and clarify that the press conference was all a big misunderstanding. After that, I'm suing you for defamation." Min-jae slapped her hard across the face. "Ji-hye, haven't you made enough of a fool of yourself? If you ever harass Naima again, I swear I'll make you regret it." But Ji-hye was completely defiant, insisting the photos were photoshopped and that the woman in them wasn't her. The crowd of onlookers was growing, and everyone had their phones out, live streaming the drama and eating it all up. I let out a cold laugh and pulled out my phone, showing Ji-hye the photos and videos. "Photos can be faked, you say? Then how do you fake a video? What about this one of you slapping my husband's ass? He was only wearing a pair of briefs, by the way." I then pulled up a video she'd sent me herself. "And look, here's the video you sent me, where you're treating my husband like a dog. You two have some seriously twisted tastes." An older woman in the crowd pointed at Ji-hye. "I can't believe she's a homewrecker and still has the nerve to play the victim. So shameless. Women who break up families like that deserve to rot in the deepest level of hell." A few of the women started chucking vegetable scraps from their grocery totes at Ji-hye. Someone threw a rotten egg that splattered right between her eyes. You don't even deserve to be called human. Wrecking someone's family like that. When Ji-hye saw things turning against her, she immediately sat on the floor and started wailing. This wasn't my choice. Min-jae forced me. He pretended to be my friend, but he was secretly plotting against me the whole time. I'm the real victim here. I pray to God someone sees the truth. Min-jae, his face red with fury, kicked Ji-hye. Ji-hye, I can't believe you're so shameless. If you hadn't used the whole, just one of the guys act to slowly seduce me, do you really think I would have ever gotten together with you? Ji-hye put on a hurt expression. Everyone, you be the judge. Every time I said no to him, this is how he'd treat me. Screaming and hitting. Min-jae couldn't take it anymore and pulled out his phone, playing a video. Look, this is all the shit you've done to me. All just to satisfy your own twisted fantasies. With that, Min-jae ripped off his shirt, revealing a torso covered in scars of all sizes. Which one of these scars on my body isn't from you? You're a psycho. You belong in a mental hospital. Just then, a big, burly man burst from the crowd and grabbed Ji-hye. Ji-hye, I've been looking all over for you. You scammed me into investing everything I had, my entire life savings. Give me my money back, or I'm dragging you to the police station myself. Terrified, Ji-hye tried to run, but the man grabbed her by the hair and dragged her away toward the station. Min-jae dropped to his knees in front of me, slapping himself hard across the face, over and over. Naima, I was wrong. Please, just forgive me. I stared at him, my eyes bloodshot. It was over between us the moment you caused me to lose our baby. I never want to see you again for the rest of my life. Get the hell out. Security escorted Min-jae away, and Junho helped me back into the office. 6 months later, after we had been spending more time together, Junho confessed he had feelings for me, and we slowly started dating. Later, with a strong push from our parents, Junho and I decided to have our wedding by the sea in Busan. On our wedding day, just as Junho and I were about to drink from our linked arms, Min-jae suddenly stormed the stage, his hair a complete mess. Junho immediately pulled me behind him, warning Min-jae not to try anything, or he would regret it. Just then, a nearby child started crying. Min-jae immediately ran over and picked up the baby from its stroller. He soothed it gently. Don't cry, baby. Daddy's here. You'll never have to leave Daddy again. The child's mother was already crying in fear but was too scared to grab the baby back, afraid of what Min-jae might do. I walked over to Min-jae, my wedding hanbok trailing behind me, and spoke to him patiently. Min-jae, give me the baby. This is someone else's child. Our baby is gone. He shook his head frantically. This is my child. He's not dead. He came back for me. I pointed to my stomach. The baby is gone. You have to accept it. He froze, his eyes shimmering with tears. Seizing the opportunity, Junho quickly snatched the baby and returned him to his mother. At that moment, several people in white coats ran onto the stage and restrained Min-jae. One of the doctors apologized to Junho and me. We're so sorry. He has a mental illness and escaped from the hospital this morning. We'll take him away immediately. As they led him off, Min-jae's gaze lingered on me, full of reluctance, but his eyes now had a vacant, hollow look to them. In the following years, through our hard work, Junho's and my company became more and more successful. 2 years later, our first child was born. A handsome little boy with my dark skin and his father's gentle eyes. One bright morning, Junho looked at the baby in my arms and said gently, "When you grow up, we'll protect your mom together. We'll be her knights." In that moment, wrapped in so much love, I felt like the happiest person in the world.